of Arn Anderson in 1989. It's March, and that means it's WrestleMania season. And even though Mania did not happen until the first week of April, the push is on, and it's very apparent in all the television and syndication that we are building to the big event. And even though you and Telly have a match with Strikeforce, the month of March, my friend, is like the past three. It's the Brainbusters and the Rockers. You guys are burning down the house shows circuit. And are you ready to do this, my friend, or are you ready to jump into March 1989?
Let's ride the wave.
Here we go. We're going to jump on and we're going to ride it. And the month of March begins in Canada. We talked a lot about Canada last week. We're going to do it again, this time in Sherbrooke, Quebec on March 3rd. 3,719 fans turned out for the Rockers versus the Brainbusters. You guys, Arn, would work second from the top. And believe it or not, you lost this one cleanly. So that was rare that if you would lose, that it was a clean loss. But you move on from there. And on the 4th, from Hall, Quebec, you and Tully once again faced the Rockers in the semi-main event. And this card was headlined by the WWF champion, the Macho Man Randy Savage, ooh yeah, Arn, and Bad News Brown in a Harlem street fight. And this is the first time I remember Quebec coming up. Canada is special, and you might remember the night. After WrestleMania 18, Hogan received a standing ovation for 17 minutes uninterrupted from this crowd in Montreal. For you, how did wrestling in Canada compare to wrestling in the U.S.?
Well, there's a big standing rib, I think, from the folks in Quebec, Montreal, or in the area. When the American folks show up and start pulling in the convenience stores and asking directions, I guess it's a standing rib. No English. No, I no understand.
I love it.
I don't know if it's just that area and that's a standing joke, but we didn't get as favorable a response, and maybe it was because we're rat bastard heels. Hope that was the reason. So it was, if you go to Toronto, it's just like walking around New York or somewhere like that. You get over in Quebec, it's a different story. It's almost like a different country, and I think they want it that way.
And they're a passionate fan base, man. As far as, I just talked about the Hogan thing, but they were rabid. They love their professional wrestling. And I figured, just curious if the wrestlers could feel a difference from the U.S. audience versus the Canadian audience. But it sounds like they didn't appreciate you guys whatsoever. You were the heels.
Yeah, and I hope that's the case. It's just no matter where you go in the world, everybody's different. That's what makes traveling so awesome. You see, there can be small differences, can be huge differences. And I would say that, Montreal is as far from being Toronto as you could possibly get, and that's the way they want it.